We are constantly running out of water, and it always happens at just the wrong time.
Oh man, has it been a long day? This shower is gonna feel great. What in the heck?
Scott's water is so good, I just had to finish drinking it before he had a chance to finish his shower.
Hey, hon, can you make a bottle for the baby, please?
Sure thing, babe. Oh, come on. Dang it, come on again. I swear, sometimes it feels like someone is stealing our water.
At least I had a chance to fill up my pool first before they had a chance to make their kids' bottles. That'll show them for trying to use their water.
We have 100% had these exact situations happen already. So we were just sick of it. So we have two things we're gonna do to try and fix it for the future. One, try to save some water. And two, find a better and easier way to monitor our water levels and to alert us if they're getting too low. So first, let's talk about a few ways that we can save some water. First and foremost, find and fix any leaks that you might have. This can be really common outside, especially if you have drip systems or animal waterers like we do here. We actually had a severe water leak here in our goat and chicken area just about a week or two ago and lost about 400 gallons of water in that one incident alone. So make sure to check all of your hose connections and any watering connections that you may have, because it will definitely save you a lot of water. Now that we have those fixed, let's go check out the rest of the property and see if we have any other leaks that we need to be aware of. Second, use high efficiency appliances and faucets whenever possible. These may take time to implement because they can be expensive, but they will save a lot of water. Some examples of these are toilets, shower faucets, your washer and dryer, and your dishwasher too, to just name a few. These things are critical to helping you save the water that you have, as well as saving money if you're on city water too. The third action we're taking to help us not run out of water is to build, install, and code a microcontroller, circuit board, and ultrasonic sensor to help us monitor our current water levels. And that's definitely easier said than done, because we can't just go out and buy something like that that's on the market already. We're gonna have to make it ourselves and kind of figure it out as we go. With the goal being that we're gonna have a sensor at the top of our water tanks that'll be able to alert us when our water level is getting lower, as well as when it's time to go out and get an extra load of water. To do this, we'll get started with something called an ESP8266 microcontroller, as well as an ultrasonic sensor that's gonna connect to the controller. But Scott, how will I use all your water and surprise you if you always know how much water you have left? Exactly, Bob. We are setting up a system that will be able to monitor our water levels as well as alert our phones when the water level gets too low. And this is used through a system called Home Assistant. Now, Home Assistant is used for a wide variety of things, but we're just going to showcase it for how I use it for this one thing. So to get started, we're going to wire up our ultrasonic sensor into our ESP8266. So to get started, I'm going to use some jumper cables to connect everything together. If you want to play around with it a little bit, you can use something called a breadboard in order to kind of mess with it before you get the settings exactly right. To get started, I'm going to take a jumper cable and plug it into the VCC port on our ultrasonic sensor. This is going to be where we apply power to the sensor at. We take the other end of that jumper cable and plug it into any 3-volt power source on the ESP8266. In this case, I'm just going to use the VIN port, which is on the bottom left, but there's a few you can choose from. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and plug in a jumper cable to the ground on the ultrasonic sensor. And then, if you couldn't guess it, plug the other end of that jumper into a ground port on your ESP8266. The other two ports on your ultrasonic sensor, the trigger and the echo. Think of your trigger as your send and echo as receiving the echo or the return. So you can use any two digital input or outputs that you like, you just have to remember which one it goes to. In my case, I'm going to use ports D5 and D6. If you have any questions at all, I'll make sure to put a copy of the wiring diagram that I used for this in the comments below. Now, next, I'm going to assume already that you have a Home Assistant set up already. If you don't, that's kind of a beast in and of itself, and there's a ton of YouTube videos out there that can help you walk through that process if you need it. Once you have that set up, you're going to install an add-on called ESP Home. It's pretty simple and it walks you through it really easily. Now, I am not familiar with coding. I am not a computer expert or anything, so don't be scared. The coding is not going to be difficult. All you have to do is copy and paste for the most part. After you get ESP Home installed, it's a pretty simple process. All you're going to have to do is connect your ESP board, which I just did it in the office just to make sure it all connected and worked fine before I installed it outside. And then you're going to go through the process of adding it from your ESP Home screen. What this does is it installs a baseline piece of software on your ESP8266, so that way you can rewrite and code your ESP board from your computer or literally anywhere with an internet connection, so you don't have to have it right at your computer. I will mention you do have to have it plugged into your computer for the very first time, but after that you can take it outside. Now, I'm going to take some code that I found from another user because, like I said, I don't code. Make sure to update it for the correct pins that I used for my ultrasonic sensor, and then you also have to input your SSID of your Wi-Fi at your house as well as your password. That's super important. But once that's done, you can wirelessly upload that data to your ESP8266 and then it'll pop up. From there, it's pretty simple. All I did was set up two things: a graph on my homepage of my Home Assistant, as well as a little thingamajig that shows the level of the water currently, so we can keep an eye on that. All of that just uses an entity that's defined from the ESP when you install it on ESP Home. If you don't know what I'm talking about, entities, all that stuff, feel free to research it or ask below in the comments and I'll try to help out. I know just about this much about, Home Assistant coding. One of the last things we're going to have to do is install this on the top of our water tank. All that it's going to take to install it is drill 2 holes in the top of the tank as close to the top as possible at the distance apart that the little nubs are on the ultrasonic sensor. Then all we have to do is push that ultrasonic sensor into place, and then I went ahead and took an extra step and covered the whole thing with a Tupperware container and then put some caulking around it to make sure it was waterproof. The last thing we're going to do is program alerts, and this is the best part about having Home Assistant connected to your ESP8266, because after you get it all said and done, you really don't have to look at it or Home Assistant at all for that matter. It will automatically alert you when your water is low. It's pretty simple and it's all automated. All you have to do is go into automations and set up a few of the different variables, choose your phone, and then, like for example, my wife's phone, I had to install Home Assistant, the app on it to get it to show up, and that's it. When the water is low, it alerts us. So there's no more guessing. So that's pretty much it. With these steps taken, Bob should never be a problem ever again.
What? No!
So thanks guys for watching. We truly appreciate it. We love making these videos and helping others out in any way possible. If you guys needed any of the items like the ESP boards, the ultrasonic sensors, the breadboards, the connections, anything at all, we have links below in the description and the pinned comments, and that helps us out a ton if you at least check them out. Otherwise, please consider subscribing so you get all this content regularly and checking out our memberships as well as our merch that's down below. So thanks guys for joining us today. We truly appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.